Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Moscow for continuing European Championship action. Tonight, it's the men in the 96 kilo class who occupy center stage for the Championship of Europe. The last 3 days of the championships, 19 countries have already achieved medals at these European Championships from 38 participating countries. A healthy percentage, and particularly impressive given the fact that the majority of lifters have not competed for over 2 years. Well, welcome into the warm-up room of the Irina Vina Usmanova Palace of Gymnastics, named after Russia's most famous rhythmic gymnastic coach. I'm David Goldstrom, together with Mikhaila Breeze, Commonwealth Games champion, European medalist. And Mikhaila, we've had a great range of performances over the past days. And hopefully this 96 kilo group is going to be at the top end of that range. Jürgen Spiess, all 37 years of him, heading the top of the start list there. The body weight's only relevant in as much that they tell us that everybody weighed in inside the limits. One or two who are close to the limit and might have had to fight to get inside. But here is Jürgen Spiess, European champion back in 2009, still retains his appetite. Petr Asonyak for Belarus, moving up from 81 kilos into this 96 kilo class. Murkachian, the European champion at 89 kilos 2 years ago for Armenia. Georgi Kuptsov, third in the junior worlds at 105 kilos, but a lot of years ago. And Bartlomiej Adamus for Poland, fourth in the Europeans, but at 89 kilos, again moving up. And Anton Plitnoy, who finished third in the World Championships 2 years ago. For the host nation, it's Artur Babian, youth European champion 2 seasons ago, or 2 years ago. And Hovhannissian, David Hovhannissian of Armenia, another achiever, the bronze medalist in the 89 kilo category 2 years ago, moving up and completing the lineup, Yevgeny Yantsevich for the Ukraine. European Junior Championships 2 years ago, he finished in 6th place. Well, as ever, a B group earlier today, and the man who really dominated, Daniel Goliasz of Poland. Mikhaila, 3 good snatches.
It certainly was. 147 on his opener, 151 second attempt, and this 154 kilos. Really solid third attempt. And that was the lead after the snatch, and that's the weight that these lifters will need to surpass to take the lead. Not only was he successful in the snatch, he also went on, took 2 out of the 3 in the clean and jerk. 187 was his opener, no problems there. Then increased the bar by 5 kilos to this, the 192. He did attempt a 196 on his third, unsuccessful. But this lift, well, gave him a total of 346 kilos. And that's the standard that has been set earlier in the day. And these results obviously count towards the overall standings. Really solid lifter, a good day at the office, 5 out of 6 lifts.
Yeah, respectable total of 346 kilos, but as you said, Mikhaila, it's a weight that should be surpassed by the guys. Here they are in the A medal final. Those weights on the right of your picture there, those are the initially posted weights, but they may change, and if they do, we'll guide you through the action. So a big weekend of lifting coming up after today's competition, and there you have the standards. One man who's not in today's competition, really dominating all those particular marks.
Time 153 kilograms, please.
Well, here we go. Michaela, what a servant this guy has been to German weightlifting. As I said, European champion back in 2009. To stay fit, to stay well, to retain your appetite, to train. I mean, it's magnificent when you think that, you know, 20 years of international contribution at the highest level.
It really is remarkable, and this is a sign of a clean lifter that has been progressive, steady, consistent, and managed the injuries. A lot of lifters come onto the scene and they disappear just a few years later, but Jürgen Spiess, well, he's got a heck of a career behind him and still performing in an A group at the European Championships.
Now, over the years, he's lifted in a whole host of different weight categories, but the majority of the time he's been 94, 105. But if you wind back to those European Championships of 2009, he actually snatched 178 kilos. But as the years have gone on, you wouldn't expect him to maintain that level.
Well, he's making no mistake here. I know it's only 153 in comparison. Is down on where he's been, but you know, managing a long career, no issues with his opening lift.
Yeah, he should make 160 and maybe a little bit more. David Kurek is the coach in the corner there with the big red beard. Sorry, Michaela.
Not sure whether he's going to jump straight to a 160 now. He may take 150. Is he? Yeah, looks like he is. It's a decent jump. 153 up. What's that, 7 kilos?
Yeah, he was 7th in the
55.
7th in the London Olympic Games. He was 10th in Rio for his country.
Just let you know what's going on here. It's 155 that's been loaded to the bar, so 153 just up 2. But what the coaches have done is nominated that weight. That means the loaders are on the platform. It means the clock has stopped. It means he's getting more recovery time. As soon as the bar was loaded, they've increased it again. Bar's now up to 158. I think he made use of 2 changes there, just to delay the clock and to give him more time to recover. Good tactics by the coach.
Yeah. And that's probably fair enough, isn't it? As the years come on, you need a little bit more time to recover.
You'd expect an experienced coach to do this for the lifter. I mean, the only time I wouldn't is maybe with novice lifters or younger lifters, where you can just tell them to get on with it. They don't need much recovery time. But it's important that the body does recover. The legs it takes a toll out of the legs. Breathing heavily still. If you go heavy in the gym, you can just monitor your heart rate. It's going to sky high, go really high, in excess of probably what the maximum heart rate should be at this age.
A couple of years ago, he was healthily totaling up around 360. So, you know, he's going to surpass the guys in the B group. Well, I believe he will, and I hope he will. So Jürgen, 153 to 158, a 5 kilo increase at this weight. Not unusual, but nonetheless, taking the bar back or towards the back of the platform, suggesting that he might be anticipating the odd step forward. 30-second buzzer in the background.
I fear that's a no lift. Press out in his left arm.
Yeah, you're right, sadly. But unanimity from the judges.
Take a look at his left arm, our right as we look at it. Definite movement in that elbow. It's a violation of the rules. I'm a strong believer that these should be the rules for CrossFit as well. If they want to call themselves, well, weightlifters within CrossFit, then they need to be adhering to strict rules. At the moment, I see CrossFitters getting the bar overhead anyhow. It does not constitute snatches, cleans or jerks. It needs to be tightened up with those rules. Then we're going to see some great lifting from CrossFit. Looks like the Germans going up in weight, maybe just the extra kilo, just to buy a little bit of time. They may even go to 160, which would buy plenty of recovery.
They've done just that, so they know what they're doing. But it's going to be a big attempt for Jürgen when he comes out for 160. Meanwhile, he does get a bit of respite. So the bar on 160. It looks as if it might be Bartłomiej Adamos for Poland. Or no, it's Jakub Makachian for Armenia. Now this is a man who is already an achiever. Very, very good medal at the European Senior Championships 2 years ago at 89 kilos. He also won the world title 2 years ago, and he also won the under-23 title. 2019 was a purple patch for him. 167 is his best. He's had a couple of outings in international competitions at 96 kilos. But 160, that's his best 96 kilo category lift so far in competition.
A bit of a swing around the knees, but no mistaking overhead. Good shoulder mobility, or should I don't know, it's good shoulder mobility, or maybe a lack in mobility in the hips and ankles because he tilts forward slightly under the bar.
Now this guy didn't have a bad 2019 either. A bronze medal in the Junior World Championships for Poland. This is Bartłomiej Adamos for Poland, who've yet to put a medal onto the table. He was fourth in the Europeans, both at 89 kilos, so again moving up to 96 kilos, this Olympic category. And that's a fair start. In fact, it's a personal best.
Well, you know, this category, let's just make this clear to the viewers, this, I think, is the first category in these championships where we don't have any lifters with tarnished reputations. So far, these lifters are all impressing. But at this age, and also with a year out of international competition, you would expect to see a good few kilo improvement.
Ukraine, who've already been successful today, earlier on in the women's 81 kilo competition, their third title in the women's division. And maybe this man, Yevgeny Yanseyevich, has taken a bit of inspiration from that. Sixth in the Junior Europeans last season, 160, 4 kilo personal best straight away.
Yeah, really good technician, tremendous speed under the bar, and that's so important. When these weights get heavy, you've got to be able to transition from full extension to a deep squat position at speed.
So Jürgen, they've worked the tactics, so to speak. So the bar is on 160, so this is 7 kilos, 7 big kilos. Fingers crossed. Would love him to get this. Amongst the great German lifters of recent times, including the likes of so Artur Babayan for Russia. Little ripple of applause from the few team supporters that are in the seats, and 163 kilos on the bar for Artur. Well, made nothing of that. This is a young man who took the European Youth Championship 2 years ago in this weight category. Did 162, another man with a personal best by a kilo.
I like the way he moves, sits so straight underneath the bar. Looks under control from start to finish. That's the way to do it.
And there's a nice pace to this competition at the moment, Michaela.
There certainly is. They're moving at speed. No messing, but they're young. A lot of these lifters are very young.
Several out in the wings, though, who've yet to start, but almost in the blink of an eye, here comes the Ukrainian back on for a 4 kilo increase. All his work has been at junior and youth level.
No lift. Подъем не засчитан. The gain 164.
Just having a look at this 164. I don't think anybody else is going to want this, so he may well be having to follow himself.
We take a look at the replays. Just a little bit hesitant dropping underneath, hanging onto the bar a long time at full extension before he drops. And that split second, it's just a fraction of a second, has proved very, very costly.
So, coaching hat on, if you were there whispering in his ear, what would you be looking at in particular for him?
I'd be asking for more acceleration when that bar passes the knee. I want more leg glute explosion. The effort has got to come from the from the lower body. The upper body, well, it just guides the bar. It's a weight he's very capable of.
What do you think, Michaela? We've lived a year now with Zoom calls and video coaching and all of that. Do you think that's going to stick with us as we try to get back to some sense of normality? But do you see what you've been doing over the past year being now established within the regime?
100%. I won't go back to doing, I will go back to doing what I was doing before, but using Zoom and moving more online has actually given me a far wider reach from a business point of view. And I've been so lucky to work with people from all over the world, and I literally mean all over the world. So regardless of where you are, get in touch if you're interested, but it's been a great opportunity.
Oh, much better.
No.
Oh, dear.
David,
I
you
thought he
keep
was there.
commentator's curse.
Yeah, no, I seriously thought, I thought he was under the bar and he was going to be there, but the hips went back, he was behind and he lost it.
That's
And,
a real shame. Let's
yeah.
take a closer look. We need the side view, though. It's the side view that gives us an idea of the line of the bar. That view gives us absolutely diddly squat, apart from the fact his shoulders swung back.
So, Georgy Kuptsov, 2 Russians in the competition, and this is his first attempt, coming in at 165. Always interesting to have 2 athletes from the same country pushing each other.
No lift.
Well, the interesting thing for me is it's not a question of COVID or missing out for a couple of years. He hasn't been, according to what I've discovered about him, he hasn't been on a big competition stage for something like 5 years.
Well, where has he been?
Well, it's competitive in Russia. Presumably, he didn't get selected.
And now most of their top lifters have been kicked out. It's opened up the doors.
Yeah, he was a junior European champion back in 2014 at 94 kilos. So he's got a gold medal at European level. And David Hovhannisyan now for Armenia. I think this man might be a player today. Again, he's got some good medals in his trophy cabinet. 2 years ago, he was the bronze medalist at 89 kilos, so he's moving up. So there's quite a few guys in this competition who sort of know each other. He's got a personal best snatch of 165, so he's starting right on his previous best. Seconds running out. Well, he never settled.
165 without change.
It's not good enough to take that amount of time on a bar. You cannot blame the clock, you cannot blame the lack of time. These lifters know exactly how long they have. There's a clock on the platform, you would have seen it going on. But the coaches still needed to say, come on, let's go. Just left the bar out in front. And with my lifters, when I'm coaching, if they're faffing around on the bar, I'll tell them. Because I need my lifters to be able to respond. If, for whatever reason, the coach messes up and doesn't realise the clock is ticking, the lifter has to be able to pick themselves up and just go and lift at speed. You cannot afford to take too long.
Well, if you want a picture of positivity, determination, fire in the belly, Jakob Mukhachian is your man at this moment. So, from one disappointing Armenian to another man who means business. Second attempt, 165 to go into the lead.
No lift.
Подъем не засчитан.
Well, I don't down his commitment, but that was poor.
It was, he's blaming the tape slipping on his thumb. Change the tape then if it's a problem. He may have ripped his hand, put some chalk in the hole, block up the callus. Trying to muscle that up, you just can't do it with that kind of weight. You've got to be more explosive with the lower body.
So, Bartlemy. But he's got, as you can see, a 160, so he's going for 165. It's unusual for us to be this deep into the championships and not have a Polish medal. But that's worthy of the lead.
Подъем засчитан.
The same weight. Also second attempt, Georgi Kuptsov, Russian.
The body language says a lot, doesn't it? The way he's strutting his stuff, he means business. It's got to be controlled aggression, and it certainly was. Extends lovely and straight, sits nice and straight under the bar.
So, Poland with the edge, Russia in the silver medal position, and now Mr. Kuptsov.
No lift.
Подъем не засчитан.
Now under extreme pressure because
And again, 165.
now, as I'm sure you all know at home, the reality is that he faces the possibility of not being able to go for a total.
Jakob Mukhachian, also Armenia.
Well, he's got one attempt remaining, and he needs to pull something out of the bag, that's for sure. He cannot afford to be sat down by the bar on his next attempt. Big pressure on the elbow there. It was safer to let it go than to hang on.
David Hovhannisyan of Armenia. Well, he can't afford another failure, otherwise he's going to find himself in a similar position to the Russian who's just preceded him. I did say I thought this man would be a player in this competition. Well, if he wants to be, he's got to make this. It may be a new weight category, but 165 should be within his reach. Not too much time, come on. 30 seconds he still has. Overthinking.
I reckon his sessions must take 3 hours.
Here we go. Still overthinking. Come on. Doesn't do your heart rate any good if you're a coach, does it?
Oh, he knows exactly how long he's got, and that's what's frustrating.
Yeah.
It's a habit that he's got into.
Yeah.
And I would love to see how he would respond in a pressurised situation when he doesn't have the full minute. That's the lifter that needs to have a full minute on the clock when he goes onto the platform. But seriously, I mean, how long do his sessions take? Third attempt.
Mukhachian needs this to stay in touch. There are still 2 men who've yet to start. One from Belarus, one from Georgia. In trouble.
Подъем не засчитан.
So lifter trying to use the upper body. Big shrug, big pull, trying to get the bar high. Doesn't need to. Delays the time dropping under, leaves the bar behind. Just too slow transitioning, and the bar comes down before he does.
I mean, the initial 5, 6 minutes, 10 minutes of this competition started so promisingly, but it's gone a bit south since then. And now Georgi Kuptsov, well, this is one of these moments when in sport, wherever you come from, whoever you are, get on this lad's side. Let's hope he can get a good lift. Thank goodness for that. 1:65 for Kuptsov.
He's going to be fuming with himself. 2 wasted attempts that have proved costly in terms of medals. Not bad technically though, does get nice and straight, super fast, up and under. Bar is still travelling up as he drops. Well done.
As I said, he hadn't been on the competition stage for a lot of years. Maybe ring rustiness, but here's Petr Asonyak for Belarus. Bar at 1:67 to take the advantage of the competition. Best snatch.
Easy.
167 kilograms again.
Well, there's a good example of what you should do and how to do it.
Maintains a great position with the back as he comes off the floor, and that's key. If you can maintain that position past your knees, you've got a chance of being in the right place. Lose position, and it has a knock-on effect throughout the lift.
5th in the Olympic Games in Rio back in 2016, when he snatched 170, which is his all-time best. More to come from him, I fancy. And now Artur Babyan, the other Russian. So Babyan, 4 kilo increase to 167, which would take him up from 5th into 2nd, the silver medal position. And still, by the way, Anton Plesnoy of Georgia, formerly of the Ukraine, to start.
Oh, steady, steady.
So he goes in the 2nd place. What is it about coaches, Michaela?
I know what you're going to say.
Bend and turn your head sideways.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But you watch most coaches, and they'll, as the lifter comes off the floor, they turn their head. It must just be a better view. It's crazy, isn't it? Most coaches do it.
I know, but it's a question I always ask myself, and okay, it's where now? Tactics coming in now.
70. It's got to be.
Yeah. And by the way, Anton
71.
Plesnoy of Georgia, 175. That hasn't moved. That was the weight that he announced, and it's staying right there right now as Adamus of Poland comes in to try and complete 3 out of 3, 169. Just taking his time here. 169. This is a significant personal best. And on this particular night, beyond him.
Frustrating, and you can see it in his body language. He wanted that. It was sharp, he just left it slightly forwards. Let's have a look from the side. We need the side view to see what went wrong. There we go, whips the shoulders back, so he lifted the bum up as he came off the floor. Shoulders went back a little at full extension. As soon as the shoulders go back, hips go forward.
So Belarus leading Russia at the moment. And Plesnoy has come down, by the way, from 175 to 171. So he's adjusted, as he's entitled to do. This is Hovhannisyan. $170 now. This would take him into the snatch medals.
Oh, he doesn't half faff.
Yeah,
Come on.
He'd drive me bonkers.
Too much. Oh,
and did that catch him on the head as well?
I think so. I think so. The way his head got smashed down, yeah, I'd say so. He'd be okay. Knock some sense into him. Might speed him up. Bit of whiplash going on there, I think.
So Anton Plesnoy of Georgia will be out momentarily. Yeah, it did catch him, didn't it?
Yeah, he was already on his way back, though. He might have stretched the hamstrings in doing so.
Oof.
Oh, got him nice, didn't it? Well, let's hope he's okay. I'm sure he will be.
Well, this man used to represent the Ukraine up to the year 2016. He never got any medals, but then he moved to Georgia. And again, another man, 2019, a really good year. Bronze in the world, silver in Europe at senior level at this weight category. $171 marches straight into gold medal position in the snatch. 2 attempts to come, and we've got 4 attempts left, and it's Belarus and Georgia. Those are the men now who are going to fight this out.
Well, these lifters are all fast, but he was by far the fastest thus far.
Asayonak for Belarus. Bar at 172. Oh, sorry, 171.
No.
Подъем не засчитан.
172 kilograms load on the knees.
Установить 172 килограмма.
So that was Babian. My apologies for the confusion there.
Петр Асайонок, Беларусь, вторая попытка.
Just dropping the chest as he comes off the floor, that's proved costly.
Yeah, leaves him in the bronze medal position.
Пресной готовится.
And this is Petr Asayonak. I was getting ahead of myself there, thinking that these two were the ones to fight it out, but they are now. So 172, just the necessary kilo to go ahead of Plesnoy. He's got 2 attempts, including this one. Ooh.
Very short on the extension. I think he missed extension.
Подъем не засчитан.
Rushed the lift.
Again 172. But Asayonak, Belarus.
Take a look at the slow-mo replay. I think he was trying to muscle this. Yeah, arms came in, just didn't quite get there, did he?
Plesnoy, Georgia.
It's quite a big category increase, isn't it, Mikhailo? He's gone from 81 kilos in 2019 to this 96 kilo. I mean, that's a big, big increase in body weight category.
You may have found, though, he's probably dropping somewhere between 7-8 kilos to make the lighter category. I mean, I used to drop from 65 down to 58, so that was quite a substantial cut. I was cutting a whole category plus. So these bigger guys will find it easier to drop those kind of figures. And if they've decided, you know what, I've had enough of cutting, I'm going up, it's fairly easy for a lot of these guys to put those extra few kilos on to get to the top of the category.
Yeah, there's a hint of that in the Rio Olympic Games. He lifted in the 85 kilo category, weighed in obviously just inside that. So 2015, 2016, he was more an 85 kilo lifter than an 81 kilo lifter. But after that, well, 2018, 2019, very much in the 81 kilo range. But as you say, he might have found that a struggle.
But look at his body weight.
He was collecting medals.
Sure, but his body weight here right now is only 93.66 at a 96 category. Everybody else in this category is top end of 95 point something. So he's giving away, you know, the best part of a, well over a kilo here. But over 2 kilos, sorry.
But he's doing the sensible thing. He's going to try 172 again, which would put him into the gold medal position. Plesnoy, meanwhile, has, with some confidence, posted 175 for his second attempt. So this to go into the lead. If he doesn't do it, then he stays silver, and Babian of Russia bronze. But he's done it.
He's done it convincingly. There were no issues, no hesitations. That was a very confident, supreme lift. Good enough now for gold medal position. There's only one man that can deny him. He really whips the shoulders back, but he definitely gets extension this time.
Well, there were a couple of competitions in 2020, believe it or not, in January and February. The Rome World Cup. And Plesnoy of Georgia was the winner of that in this weight category. And he lifted up 176 kilos. His personal best is 181, so going for 175 here on the evidence, this should be possible. And he's clearly an athlete who's prospered from the move from the Ukraine to Georgia.
Yeah, you do find a lot of lifters do transition between countries. It's being made harder and harder to do that these years. There's more eligibility criteria to fulfill.
He's a good age as well, just 24. So this for a 3 kilo advantage with one attempt still in his pocket after this. And that's the gold medal in the snatch for Georgia.
He's got a big clean and jerk posted as well, the highest of all the lifters, 208. The next highest is 205. But he's definitely got a commanding lead already, and the advantage of knowing that he's the stronger man on the clean and jerk. So the question is, can he take it any further with his third attempt?
That's Georgia's second gold medal of the championships. They're 7th in total. Now, the important thing is to get those extra kilos, because it's actually a bit of a crowded house in the clean and jerk. Nobody's outstanding according to their opening attempt, so this is a really important opportunity. I've got his personal best clean and jerk at 215 kilos.
Well, he's nominated here at 180. This is another 5 kilo increase on the snatch. Taking his time walking to the platform, just keeping the legs moving, keeping the blood flowing. That will help with recovery. Nice little tear on the hand there. Nothing wrong with that. A bit of chalk to stop it bleeding. Clean it up later.
If he does this, he's the only man to get 3 out of 3 in the first part of the competition, and of course it would give him an 8 kilo advantage over his closest rival, and then it really does open up. 8 becomes 11, the deficit for Babian of Russia, and it becomes 13 for Adamus of Poland, 13 for Hovhannisyan of Armenia, and likewise for Kuptsov of Russia. So these 8 kilos could be the difference between overall gold or missing out. But he looks well prepared, doesn't he?
He looks very focused in the zone. Nobody, nothing else is going to get in that way. Nothing's going to distract him. He's very switched on to this, wants it.
Georgia.
It's there.
It is there, isn't it?
Fantastic
And
lifting.
how precious are those extra kilos, which now gives him that 8-kilo advantage. I don't quite know what's going on there with all of that. That shouldn't actually be happening. It's not supposed to happen. It's part of his Georgian team force there, but this was good.
It was good. It was almost short on the extension, but he had powerful legs there to drive the bar plenty high enough. Plenty high enough. Only needs to be a millimetre above where you catch it. That was an outstanding lift, and as you said, he's got such an advantage now with the biggest nominated clean and jerk. I would say the pressure's off. Now, all he's got to do is focus on that first clean and jerk. Get one in, he's got a total. It's down to everybody else then to try and catch him.
14 good lifts in the first half of the competition. Georgia in. So the very impressive Gymnastics Palace, our host venue for the past week. Clean and jerk about to get underway, and everything in the favor of the Georgian Anton Plesnoy. Just a reminder of the opening weights for the clean and jerk. And you can see it's a very tight affair. So those 8 extra kilos for Plesnoy, really valuable.
I think it's going to be hugely valuable. It'll be interesting to see how far he pushes himself on the clean and jerk. I don't think it's going to be too difficult for him to secure gold just with his first lift based on the exceptional lead that he has after the snatch. But there's still other medals to play for, and it's his to lose.
So Yevgeny Yansevich of the Ukraine, 187 kilos on the bar. Just to remind you that 192 kilos were lifted by Daniel Goliesh of Poland in the B group earlier today, who totaled up 346. So just worth keeping that in mind, because this lift, had he made it, wouldn't have put him into the lead in any case.
Limping, he doesn't look overly comfortable. But then there's no lifter coming into this kind of competition without a niggle of some kind. By now the body hurts, the joints are sore. You think about the repetition that the bodies are under. Plenty of squats every single session, or at least once a day. That combined with the multiple repetitions that they'll be performing on numerous exercises. These guys, some of them will be spending 2 to 4 hours a day in the gym. That's a lot of volume.
So here's the thing, Michaela. With all this pain and ache, what is it, because it captured you in a big way, what is it that makes weightlifting the sport that you loved for years and years and years? Why do it? There must be something about it which you felt and that, you know, just kept you completely engrossed.
It's that personal challenge that you, just to see how far you really can push your bodies. And my motto is #no limits. You know, it doesn't matter what new personal best you achieve, there's always that bit more that you could potentially do. So it's that personal challenge of how far you can push yourself. That's what it was for me anyway.
The better clean helps the better finish.
Good lift.
Подъем засчитан.
188, please.
Установить 188 килограммов.
Most of these lifters, after this kind of level competition, will take a week of active recovery, maybe two. It does not mean a week or 2 weeks off. It means into the gym, stretching out, lighter weights, maybe slightly higher volume, getting the body prepared for the next round of training, the next program. And in this case, it's almost certainly going to be a program up to the Tokyo Olympics for a lot of these athletes.
We never really talk about it, Michaela, but after a competition like this, win, lose or draw, recovery regime. Was it a nice ice bath for you?
Depends on the lifter, David. There's plenty of recovery strategies, you know, just good sleep, good hydration, good nutrition. They're all recovery strategies. Massage, stretching. Ice baths, there's research is inconclusive. Some say it's good, some say it's not. I think it's down to an individual preference. I used to enjoy an ice bath at the end of session. I used to find that I'd feel better afterwards. So each athlete will have their own routine. For a lot of these people, they'll be getting home, having a beer, one night blowout, and then off they go again, back on it and focusing on the next goal. And it's about, you asked me what the addiction is, it's about goal setting as well. If that goal, if that dream is good enough, is strong enough, then you will keep working regardless of what your body is going through. You'll keep pushing.
This guy's kept pushing. Jürgen Spiess, 190, opening clean and jerk.
Tief rein, lang mitschieben.
No, it's not there.
No.
Yeah, in his heyday,
Подъем не
he'd
засчитан.
have put 220 over his head as he did in the Olympic Games in Rio.
The same lifter, 190. Jürgen Spiess.
It's certainly not there at the moment, and that was a big arm shove to get the bar overhead. You cannot be punching with the arms. If you punch with the arms, you risk not getting to lock, and that's what happened in this case. Think about driving with the legs, you get air time with the bar, then you have the opportunity to split underneath it. If you think of pushing with the arms, you're pushing yourself down on the bar. You've got two forces then working in opposition. It's basic biomechanics. Well, he's almost certainly as well going to be following himself. I don't think anybody else wants this. They did use the strategy of increasing the weight on the snatch, and I think that's what they've just done. This will buy him a bit more time.
Artur Babayan, Russian Federation, first attempt.
Артур Бабаян, Россия, первая попытка.
Jürgen Spiess is next lifter.
Юрген Шпис готовится.
So Artur Babayan, 192 for his opening attempt. At the halfway stage, if you're just joining us, this man already with a bronze medal, 153, 167, didn't get 171. Now, considering the leader got 180, he's one of almost everybody catching up. But at least that's a good start, Michaela.
Подъем засчитан.
The same weight, 192, the same intent, number 2.
359.
Spiess, Germany.
The total for Babayan eclipses the B group in terms of the total, and 192 equals the best from the B group, so he's only in silver at this moment in terms of the clean and jerk.
Sorry, David, I am here. I accidentally muted my mic.
So Jürgen Spiess now out for 192. They're doing the same as what they did in the first half of the competition. Because there was a failure, just buying that little extra recovery time. All of these German athletes you've seen through the week, all supported by being either in the German army or in the border force, so they can train full time.
Ruhig, tief rein, lang mitschieben.
Oh dear.
No.
Serious trouble right now for Jürgen Spies. Really under pressure, and he's not recovering well. This is a sign of age. It does get harder the older you get. He's saying, I'm fine. Just don't hurry him off the platform, because the loaders are not supposed to come on the platform until he's off, so he's buying a bit of time. Real big effort to stand with a clean. Here just doesn't have the legs to drive to arm's length. If you don't have your legs, then you've got to split wider to get the body lower underneath the bar. He's got to do something different on the next attempt if he's going to succeed with this weight.
He's already a qualified coach, and I think that's where the rest of his career will be in terms of involvement in the sport. Just shaking his head. He's as frustrated as anybody that it's not happening for him out there tonight.
David, he can't recover, simple as that. He's gone up to 196 to buy himself some time. That is just a lack of fitness, nothing else to describe that.
So there's Jürgen, 37 years of age, at one end of the age scale. And now Jancevic, 17 years his junior, picking up 193 kilos.
Oi.
Whoa! You really can't go walkabout with that sort of weight over your head.
Oh, I turned away. I just saw a shoulder ready to buckle. That is such a risky position to be in. Diving under a weight of that significance, you're going to know about it if you have a wobble. He was lucky to avoid injury. Clean was tough, and considering the clean was tough, he's put himself back into that squat position and asked to stand again. Look at the impact on the shoulder there with the steps that he's taking. No, thank you. Don't like it.
He finishes on 347, which is actually only a kilo ahead of the Polish lifter, Daniel Golesh, who finished as the best in the B group. Now, talking about Polish lifters, Bartłomiej Adamus now. Missed out on the medals in the snatch, 4th place. He was one of a number of lifters left on 165 kilos.
Atakuj wykroczna. Dobra.
Well, he started well in the first phase, but he couldn't really keep it going.
It looks very, very comfortable. He's a young lifter progressing at a rapid rate. Great position off the floor, nice and straight at extension. And as with most of the Polish lifters, fantastic jerk position under the bar.
And a 2-kilo personal best as well, so well done to him. Poland in the lead, and now Hovhannisyan of Armenia. Not the first half I'd anticipated, only 1 out of 3, only 165 kilos, 195 on the bar. He's got a profit in the clean and jerk. First thing, get a total, then work from there. That was hard.
He's okay, he's just gone dizzy, needs to undo the belt, get the legs in the air, take his time coming off the platform. I wish the doctors would just give him a little bit of space. He's absolutely fine.
Yeah, the 195 is just about where his usual best lifts are. He's very much in that range, 195. He has done 196.
Right, this clean was hard, and that's what's taken it out of him. You need to stand and conserve as much energy as possible. He'd already gone before he attempted the jerk.
As you said, he did weigh in light at 93.26. This is a new weight category.
That wouldn't have affected him. It's normally the other way if a lifter is at the top end of the category and they've had to cut to get down.
Yeah.
They're telling him to get his legs up in the air. I think I'd tell him where to go. Because right now he needs to be ready to come back out onto the platform, not lying down having a chill pill. Yes, that's where you want to be if you're still dizzy, but he looks all right. Get him up, get the legs. Oh, dear me. Going to change the blood pressure now from being a lying down position to standing up. That'll affect him.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what it's like if you get up too quickly.
Precisely, that's exactly my point. He should never have gone down there. He didn't have time to do it. That's what, you do that straight away on the platform if the lifter has actually passed out. He was okay. Now, it's to be a big test, though.
Will it be? Because he looks a bit flustered, and we know he takes his time to the nth degree. So if he lifts this, well, it's worth a salute. As usual, in the red. And he's going to come out for a third attempt, but to be perfectly honest, Michaela, the odds are very much against him.
Well, the coaches right now need to give him a slap, need to give him a wake up, give him a whiff of the smelling salts, shake a towel in front of him, get some oxygen to him, and give him a good old slap as he goes onto the platform for his third attempt. He needs waking up, he needs to give this everything. That to me was a half-hearted commitment. Or put the weight up and buy him more time. That's an option as well.
But you can see the issue the Armenians have got, because he's gone up, as has his teammate, from the 89 kilo category. And, you know, last night they had Andronik Karapetyan and Karan Avagian, the eventual champion. So, you know, they've got a lot of lifters around 89 kilos. So I guess what they did was they decided, you know, who was going to be best, and they pushed these two boys up to 96, and it's sort of not working. Remember, this man's teammate, Jakub Mukachian, was the 89 kilo champion of Europe 2 years ago, and he only got 1 out of 3 in the first part of the competition, and he's languishing in 7th place with only 160 kilos to pull forward. Well, I wish him well. I hope he does it. But to be honest, Michaela, I don't know what your feelings are.
Well, he's going to give this a much better go. He's got to. He's got no choice. This is do or die moment, so come on.
He needs to clean this so economically. There can't be much petrol left in the tank. Three, two.
Right, get up, come on.
Come on,
short breath.
Strong overhead.
No.
Same pattern, same problem. So sadly, no total, and his adventure from 89 up to 96 has not been, or has not had, a happy ending. This man, who was the European bronze medalist behind his teammate
196
2 years ago
Юрген Шпиц,
when he
Германия,
totaled
третья попытка.
360 kilos, snatched 165 and clean and jerked 195. But here's another man under huge pressure, Jürgen Spiess. He had to buy the time to have any chance of recovering. He did do this weight a couple of years ago, but 2 years ago, off the stage. Big, big ask. It'd be fantastic if he can pull this one off. Well, you signposted it earlier, Michaela. Disappointed for him. And I don't know where his lifting career goes in terms of competition. You can see there he's tearful, he's disappointed with himself. It's you sense this is the end of competition for Jürgen Spiess. And if it is, I'll remember him as being a very good European champion at the height of his powers.
And if this is his farewell, it sure is a tough pill to swallow. But he's been a great servant to the sport. And by his body language as he comes off, that's not a lifter disappointed. Is a lifter disappointed with how he's performed? But it's more than that, isn't it?
Russia, Georgy Kuptsov. Well, already with that first clean and jerk of 197, he looks a happier camper than he did in the first half of the competition, for sure. So Kuptsov 197, he only got one good snatch. At 362, he's in the overall lead.
Yeah, lovely technical positions he's getting himself into. I didn't think the snatch was that far off, but
one Russian to another. Babian, who's currently in third place, 6 kilo increase. So this, the 365 as a total.
oh,
Oof.
No.
we know COVID's contagious, but I think the dizziness is as well today. That's the other thing. I mean, considering these guys are back on their feet, why is the doctor getting so close and actually hands-on? Just, you know, go to the lift if they're really struggling. But these guys are not struggling. They just need a second to get the oxygen back in. Back off, give them some space.
I think it's this automatic fear that they're not sure whether the guy's going to keel over or not. So they just move very quickly. In one sense, the doctor's doing the right thing. He is moving, he's attentive, he's alert. But maybe from a lifter's perspective, it's different. So 198. Babian's going to have to follow himself because everybody else is looking for weights over 200 kilos. So this isn't easy when you've just had a moment of dizziness.
The difference is he's young. Look, he's not blowing anywhere near as much as some of the other lifters were. He looks more composed, he looks more focused. He's going to give it a good go. No.
Sorry, no lift.
The strength is ebbing out of him, I'm afraid.
201 kilograms, please.
Установить 201 килограмм.
But he is, as we've said, he is one of the younger men in the class tonight, only 18, so still in junior ranks. Youth champion of 2 years ago.
202 kilograms, please.
Установить 202 килограмма.
Just never to arm's length. When you've lost your legs and you've got to find a bit more height on the bar, you just drop your body lower. That's the way to do it. Get lower under the bar to lock out.
So Petr Asanak of Belarus, the man in silver medal position at the halfway stage. So as close as anyone did get to Plesnoy, so 8 kilo deficit. He's opening up on 202. Plesnoy has posted 208 kilos.
Not 2008.
No, it was 2005 last night. Well, that's a solid enough start. And of course, that will take him right up into the overall lead.
That flew up, didn't it?
Yeah, 374 for him at this moment in time.
Really good clean, nice position at extension. Could do with moving that front foot a bit further forwards, but he's strong enough to drive it super high. Talk about that fully extended position. I like to see a nice straight position rather than the shoulders whipping back. With a back injury like I've got, when the shoulders go back, the back's in hyperextension.
Yeah, good to see. I mean, he's the athlete who's moved up from 81 to 96 kilos, and he seems to be so much happier. But now Adamus of Poland, at the moment, lying in bronze medal position in the clean and jerk, bronze medal overall. And this is a 7 kilo try, which will take him in to silver medal overall. And that's better.
Very, very good. We'll take that. Thank you very much. 2 from 2.
4 from 5 overall. Still to start, as I said, Plesnoy and also Jakub Makachian of Armenia.
Георгий Купцов, Россия, вторая попытка.
Well, Kupcov's got a fan club of sorts, as you can hear in the background there. So another 5 kilos to go up to 367, which would put him equal with the man who's just moved into second place for Poland. This is more like it. There's a good fight beginning to develop here, Michaela, now.
Yeah, there is. Not too many lifters left in the competition, so we're getting to the business end of proceedings. He came out meaning business here, didn't he? Really fast, clean, stands aggressively. Gives it everything to get that bar to arm's length. The position under the bar is great.
So maybe Russia can get a medal out of this. Maybe Poland can get a medal out of this. It's uncertain at the moment with 2 guys yet to start, but Makachian, the man who took the gold medal 2 years ago at 89 kilos, he's the man who Armenia have now got their hopes on. Hovhannissian having bombed out in the clean and jerk without a total, but he's really got a task on his hands. 160, 20 kilos behind the Georgian who won the first half of the competition and has posted a heavier opening weight, but 160, 205, so 365, that would get him edging closer in terms of overall medals, but of course 205 would put him into the lead in the clean and jerk straight away. Can he do it? That was strong enough.
That's probably one of the most precise squat jerks I've seen. He looked in control. And if you've got that kind of control, then I've got no issues. But a lot of lifters find themselves wanting when they're underneath the bar in a deep squat position.
He did 210 in 2019, his most successful year in the sport.
Dips and drives. Oh, sorry, that was just the adjustment. Just getting the bar off his shoulders. Drops himself nice and straight underneath the bar. Really good shoulder mobility to be able to do that.
206, please.
So Mukachian moves himself up into 4th place overall, and now Adamus of Poland, last throw of his dice, and he's going from 202 to 206. So this is to try and get into the 370s. So this would put him into gold in the clean and jerk, and 371. He'd move from bronze back into silver medal position, ahead of Kupsov of Russia, who still has one attempt to come. This is big boy stuff now. And Adamus, again, a youngster, still in the junior ranks, only 20 years of age. Another man who moved up initially in 2019. He moved up to the 96 kilo at the latter end of that season. So 206. Never done this on a competition stage. Time running out. Good clean. Come on. Excellent. Game on. Now we're seeing some really gutsy lifting.
He's played all of his cards there. 3 out of 3 on the clean and jerk. Pushed the boundaries, pushed anything he's ever done before. And he executed this with precision, confidence dropping under the bar. He knew exactly where the bar was going. And trust me, it's tougher as a coach, more nervous. Managed to stabilize, so strong in the overhead position.
Belarus, Poland, Russia, the 1, 2, 3 at the moment in the overall positions. Now Georgia and Anton Plesnoy bringing forward 180 kilos, 207, just come down the odd kilo for his first attempt. Plesnoy. Straight away, 387. He's 13 kilos ahead of his closest pursuer. Belarus dropped to silver, Poland to bronze.
Yeah, he dropped his opener by 1 kilo for the simple reason that he's just putting himself into the lead, securing a total. Now this, to me, looked nervous overhead. He was working hard right until the down signal. Aseonek
of Belarus, 5 kilo increase, so he's on 374, so he wants 379. So he's just trying to cement at least the silver medal position. And he would go silver in the clean and jerk. And he probably will.
No.
He probably won't.
Let me just explain what he did there. Some of you may be thinking the bar was whipping, or he didn't take his time. You're too right, he didn't take his time. He stood out of the clean, and the bar naturally whipped. Then he went straight into the jerk. What he's done there is use the natural whip on the bar to attempt the jerk. So he's, rather than oscillating it deliberately, which you're not allowed to do, he's used the natural whip. But as a result of rushing it, he's missed it.
Now, Kupsov of Russia. Only 1 good snatch, 2 good clean and jerks, 4 kilos. He's on 368. He's in 4th place, 207. This will take him to 372, put him back into overall bronze. Well, he was an outsider for a medal, and unfortunately, he's missed that opportunity. Ends up on 368. Well, 5-6 years ago, this man lifted 376, and even in the European Junior Championships as a 94-kilo lifter, he lifted 385. Not the same man. So Mkhitaryan, I should say, of Armenia, he has 2 attempts. He's sitting on 365, and he's looking for a 7-kilo increase, but he's not appearing now. Because he's gone to 212, that's why. And Asionak of Belarus trying 207 to get these extra 5 kilos, as I said, to cement silver overall and go silver in the jerk. No.
No.
Подъем не засчитан.
212 kilograms, please.
Установить 212 килограммов.
Well, this is going to be interesting, isn't it, Michaela? Mkhitaryan.
Yeah, it's going to be a good lift, this next one.
Because the next lift is to go into gold in the clean and jerk and to 3rd overall. So the European champion of 2 years ago at 89 kilos. Now the chips are really down. He's got 2 attempts left, but he really needs to use this one.
Well, if successful, this will be a tremendous attempt. Big lift here, big increase, 7 kilos up on his first attempt.
He's done 210, but I've got no mention of 212 on a competitive stage.
Yes, he's got it.
Brilliant.
Woo.
Well, he's just taken the bronze medal position away from Bartolomei Adamus. And he's taken the gold medal position in the clean and jerk. Although Adamus is still in 3rd place, the bronze medal in the clean and jerk.
Yeah, consolation medal. But here, I mean, I don't think we're going to see an attempt at the overall gold, but what he will want to do is try and stay in contention for overall gold on the clean and jerk.
But he could get overall silver. I mean, you know, he's only 2 kilos. I say he's only 2 kilos. He's just done a personal best, but there's nothing the Belarus guy can do about it now. Plisnoy, 5 kilos increase to go to 3. What would this be? 392. 400, the winning total here, or not here, but 2 years ago in the Europeans. 2nd attempt.
Much better.
He's really working at the max now.
Well, if you look at the scoreboard, he's the only lifter thus far with a clean sheet. 5 out of 5, 1 to go. Nobody can beat him in this competition. He has to be the champion. Let's crown him now. Really strong clean. He's wobbling under that bar, under the strain, but the position he gets himself into is spot on. Gives himself every opportunity of fixing it.
So he's gone to 393, as you say, he's unassailable. But the battle is really about the overall silver, the overall bronze, the clean and jerk silver, the clean and jerk bronze.
The Armenian's gone up. What's he gone to? 215.
215, yeah. So he's taking the necessary 3 kilos to take him to 375, which will take him into first place in the clean and jerk, and it will take him into silver overall.
Well, he sees the potential here. Does he believe in his ability? The clean is going to be tough. If he can stand with a clean, he's got a chance. That jerk has been absolutely brilliant so far.
That and this, what he faces now is a truly heavy Elico bar.
Now, the Elico bars make it feel lighter. They're that good.
Yeah. No. He got to bronze, but he couldn't get to silver. And as we said, Plisnoy of Georgia had effectively won the overall before he started that lift. And so Georgia have got the championship. Mukachian, European champion 2 years ago, will have to settle for the overall bronze. But he has got the silver in the clean and jerk to go with it. And Poland have actually got their first medal of the championships thanks to young Bartlomiej Adamus, who gets the consolation bronze in the clean and jerk.
What's the significance here of 221, David? Am I missing something? This is a huge increase. Personal best, maybe? It's not a record, is it?
Just having a look at the standards. No, the senior standard is 222. And...
total, maybe?
Just having a look. 400 is the...
Personal best, maybe. Brilliant clean. Oh, dizzy.
Oh.
He's not so okay. He's fine. He's all right.
Yeah.
It's just that wobble when you think have they gone completely?
Yeah, he would have equaled the standard, but he wouldn't have set the record because it would have been equal to 400 and it would have been equal to last year. And that would have been equaling Sikansov's 400 kilo senior European record, but it wouldn't have broken it. But gutsy, worth a go, but he's won the championship, so why not have a go? So the championship goes to Georgia. Belarus take the overall silver, and Armenia the overall bronze medal. 393, a really decisive victory. These are the clean and jerk positions, and there you can see Adamus of Poland at the age of 20 getting a senior bronze medal in the clean and jerk. And well done to him. You can see 3 out of 3 in the clean and jerk. That's how he earned the medal. So momentarily we'll have the overall championship scores. As I said, it's a decisive margin. 19 kilos is a big winning margin between gold and silver, and 2 kilos separating silver and bronze. Anton Plisnoy, formerly of the Ukraine, these days from Georgia, beats Petr Asayonek of Belarus with Jakob Mukachian of Armenia in the bronze medal position. So Plisnoy takes all 3 gold medals for Georgia, and that will boost them up the medal table big time. That'll give them 4 gold medals in total. And there you have the confirmation of the result, with the man from the B group ranked at the end of the day in 8th place. So just a reminder, 2 days to go and a busy day tomorrow, Michaela. 3 titles at stake. The men's 102 kilos, which is not an Olympic category. And then the men's 109 and the women's 87 kilo challenge.
That's right. You make sure you get up out early tomorrow to watch the first group. Was it 9 AM UK time?
So the medal ceremony just being prepared now. And there the stated play of the medal table. I'm sure that's not right for our, where are we, Georgia? Yes, 4 gold medals. I was looking for those, and you can see that's really zoomed them up the table. Now, there's more than 10 countries who've taken medals here. We were 19 before this evening started. And there you can see 20 at the moment, or do we have a third page as well? Eastern Europe strong, but Western Europe also present.
Just a little bit distance, you know.
And that's lovely to see. Years ago, David, that would never have happened for Western European even got a single medal. It would be amazing, but now they're much, much more competitive.
Belarus, have anyone mask? Little bit distance, 1 meter distance. You know. Yeah, because Corona. So, just wait a minute.
Wear your mask, for goodness sake.
Welcome to victory ceremony 96 kilograms category at the European Weightlifting Championships, Moscow, Russian Federation, 2021.
So the overall championship of Europe to be presented first off.
But first we would like to introduce the medals presenters.
Награждение проводят
First Deputy Minister of Sport of Russian Federation, Mr. Azat Kadyrov.
Азат Кадыров, первый заместитель министра спорта Российской Федерации.
3-time Olympic and 3 times World Champion, President of Georgian Weightlifting Federation, Mr. Kakhiashvili.
Кака Кашашвили, президент Грузинской Федерации тяжелой атлетики, 3-кратный олимпийский чемпион, 3-кратный чемпион мира.
And Vice President of Asian Weightlifting Federation, IWF Technical Committee Member, Mr. Dr. Abdullah Al-Jarman, Yemen.
Доктор Абдулла Аль-Джармал, вице-президент Азиатской Федерации тяжелой атлетики, член технического комитета Международной Федерации тяжелой атлетики, Йемен.
And first medals in total.
So Mr. Mokhanovsky A sterling job once again, and in the bronze medal position. Not an auspicious start in the snatch phase, but found two good clean and jerks to haul himself up into overall bronze with 372 kilos. Hakub Murakachyan of Armenia keeps his medal run going. Pretty well always playing second fiddle. The man from Belarus, Petr Asionek, 167, 172, two good snatches, only one good clean and jerk, 3 out of 6, but ultimately enough to cling on to the silver medal position with 374 kilos, 2 ahead of the Armenian to his left. But the outstanding man, Anton Plisnoy of Georgia, 5 out of 6. Big attempt on the last clean and jerk, and why not? But in spite of that, very much the man in charge. And it's Georgia's championship at 96 kilos for 2021.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise to honor the winner's flags and the national anthem of Georgia.
Играет национальный гимн Грузии в честь победителя.
Congratulations once again, Astravlayu. Thank you very much.
Of course, Mikhailo, is different in the Olympic Games. There are no individual discipline medals, no longer in the